garbage I've ever had. You know what? Hey, we still have a lot of those, bro. We still have a lot. Like I was thousands of them. Thousands of people to qualify the
my rounds went off finally because they were like, here, we're like, we don't know what's going on. Every time I went to go fire, like, that was it. It was like, come on, it's not even easy.
Yeah, the amount of guys that we had to like recycle through this qualification because of like malfunctions that were well outside of their problem. You know, it wasn't the actual sorter that was having the issue, it was the firearm over and over again.
They're all over the surplus market right now for like $300.
Now we also still, depending on what ship you're on, they still might use like those old Mini 14s.
Yeah, the
Mini 14.
Yep.
Yeah, but they just like modified to make it look more modern.
Those things are still good though when you're sweeping a deck, but you got to go into like some motherfucking yacht and you're like, you'll see those pop out from time to time on Barry Boat Cruise and you're like, what are you running vintage? And like, yeah,
I kind of like the Mini 14. It's not a bad platform. I mean, the old ones are abused and dog shit, but overall, it's not bad.
I wouldn't know. They're not California legal. Hang up, the stuff that I have in my house is not California legal. Yeah, I say this sadly. Like I would love a Mini 14.
I bet if you put like a dildo pistol grip on it, you could probably make an argument.
You gotta make it count before you shoot.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
With pink grips, and then you have I love Gavin Newsom on it. Yeah, it's the 12,000 rounds unreasonable to unload every month with your group.
Well, Pete Hagen said that was cutting 8%, $50 billion, and that might seem like a lot. That's a start, so we'll see where he's cutting that. Hopefully not somewhere like that. I mean, if it's effective, but I mean, send some down to the civilian market too, bros. You know, I mean, that'd be nice.
Hey,
we used to be able to get surplus ammunition, and you can't even get that shit no more.
I'm gonna say all I know, bro.
I love to shoot. I got a couple of Colt AR-15 A2s, and I used to love to be able to shoot, you know, just plank even with that. And I don't do that anymore because I can't get that. I mean, I can get it at the store, but you can get military surplus ammo, and it, you know, it fired pretty good because with a Colt AR-15 A2, you can shoot 223 and 5.56. So I can get military surplus ammo, and it was
nice. You get it as a civilian, so you do not have to have that, let's say, life or death situation consistently. That's why we can use old ammo. I shoot
well, it'd be nice to send it down if we got
100 years old. And they misfire. Every three of them misfire.
And that's why you don't want to use it in the military.
Exactly.
I didn't have that experience myself, but I didn't shoot 100-year-old ammo. But I've shot old Soviet ammo. You know, lots of 7.62 by 3.9, man, and it hasn't misfired. And it was covered in fucking grease, dude.
I'm gonna say,
grease, you know?
Hey, Brad, how often did you guys have a range day on the ship?
Soviet 7.62.
We did practice every week. So we had to stay tactical because we were a defensive perimeter. We were running and gunning. So we had to be able to hit down not only drug runners, but pirates. And my primary role was to hunt down those that were an optimal threat. So we got range day every week on the ship. And it was kind of fun. Firing off the stern and floating targets was kind of nice. And tactical clearings, those were pretty good. And if the Navy would have training ships out there that are just like old World War II ships that they're going to sink out there and add to the reef or use for target practice, we would go on there beforehand and we would have targets and, you know, instructors on there, and we would go through and clear those ships. So it was a lot of fun. But we did a lot of fucking training.
Getting see the 5-inch and shit shoot, bro. That shit's crazy.
Oh,
that shit's loud as hell. If you don't realize how loud that shit is.
So, Brad, in your position, did you like control the boat? Were you the driver? Is that what that is?
I was the coxswain, yes.
Yeah, nice. That's pretty badass. I would like to do something like that, but you know, it's
you'll never get a chance. You're too old.
Well, 34, but I'm not joining the military now, man. I mean, this just wasn't my thing. It wasn't my calling. So,
I agree.
Hey, shut up, bitch.
You gotta go back down, bro.
Yeah, do that, motherfucker.
Kickle.
Wee.
I want to say, fourth, when you were in Army, right? That's the branch you were in?
Correct.
Did you guys get to use high caliber weapons, like like the AT4s or like mortars or anything?
In basic and a little bit AIT, not too much once I got to my unit. We just
Oh,
pretty
you
much
weren't
did,
firing like HE rounds out of an AT4 in basic, right? That's all like the 9mm tracer shit.
Yeah, a lot of that. Well, we got to do the grenade launcher.
The
And
2,
then, of course,
3, yeah, but those are chalk rounds too. So
I'll say that is it the detachable one or the one that's connected to the rifle?
Say it
The
again.
detachable one or the one that's on the rifle?
The detachable. And the one that was on the rifle, actually.
Yeah, the M203 is like mounted under an M4.
Yeah.
We shot those numbers, but they were like orange chalk rounds.
I wish I could have fired those.
Hit a couple of live.
For us, it was like if you got the triple threat. So if you got expert in grenade, rifle, and pistol, like those folks got to pick whether they shot off an AT4, an M203, or I think a Claymore.
A Claymore, bro, that's like fun as fuck.
I don't know, bro. I'd be sweating bullets. Even we threw 2 live hand grenades, and that was one of the scariest things I've ever done.
Yeah, definitely remember the chop.
You want to hear a funny story?
Sweat bullets in that.
Bro, I was sketchy. You're holding your life in your hand. As soon as that pin comes out of that fucking thing, it's like,
So, Stilgar, here's a funny thing. So, our team leader, he was sitting there. He's like, hey, I'm going to give you the flashbang and you can throw that in. They never trained me on it, nothing like that. They were just like, throw that fucker in. I threw it in and hit the fucking bulkhead. It bounced back like within 2 feet. And I was like, holy shit, that thing went off so loud. That was my first experience. And then I got sent to the old man. He was like, who told you could do that? And I was like, I just took the initiative. You weren't qualified. Now we have to go get you qualified in order to cover your ass. You're going to be fucking restricted to on the ship for fucking 30 days, no port. And I was like, oh, come on. Just one down a hallway, come on.
Wow.
Yeah, man, good times.
And everybody knows that range day, when you go out, there's always that one idiot that you're like, who gave this fucker a gun?
So, I didn't know you were in the military.
Only
what,
one?
What branch you were, man?
I was in the reserves. I was in the Army Reserves as an MP.
I would like to
There was a bunch of them.
I would like to play with the idea of the draft. Any fans of the draft here?
Yes, we
No.
should draft all the
Are you
trainees.
signing up, Tally? You gonna sign up for the selective service?
With the 1%.
Equal rights for women.
No, it would still be for men. I just think that maybe the drafting age should be upped, like 60.
It already is. 65.
Tally, if I could go back in now,
70.
I would. Tally, if I could go back in now, if we were going into a conflict, and I could save someone like who's young on the stage, like Stilgar or Huey or Louie, from having to go, I would absolutely sign up and go. In a heartbeat, you wouldn't be able to stop.
Well, wasn't it that if there was just one son in the family, they weren't eligible for the draft? And I thought that the age would be related to the cap for signing up, which is somewhere like 30, right?
No, it's 25.
25?
Each branch is slightly
You can join after 25. I knew it did
No,
like
she said
37.
she said the draft.
Oh, the draft. Okay.
Yeah,
No, I'm
yeah.
safe for that. I'm not
I
that
thought
young. I wish I was.
I thought the two were connected. So currently the draft is at 65?
No, I missed it. I thought it's just 25.
It's just 25. But like you have inactive ready reserve people, and then you have some of us that could be called back. Like I got a letter once, and it was like, here, go report to Fort Drum. And basically, I was handed a mop for a week, and then I was like, "Oh, you can go home." And that's what they do with a lot of
That's
these
the
guys.
situation I'm in, Brad. I to do dumb shit.
Yeah, back to doing dumb shit when they call you back. It was like, all of us all think like, yeah, I'm going back into the suck. Finally, yes. And then you find out like, yeah, here's your mop and bucket. We're sending the young bucks. You're just here as an advisor to help in training and then clean up the mess. Fuck.
Damn,
right.
that's how they do, y'all.
That's how they do.
Yeah, pretty much, bro. So did it. That's what I say. People don't know, bro. You sign up on that at the reserves, bro. They call you for those minuscule reasons.
Oh shit.
Do you think that we could maybe
I got to
force?
miss that part.
Do you think we could maybe force another baby boom if we sent men to war, even if they're just mopping the desert?
The baby boom came back.
Holly, if you wanted a baby boom, here's what you would do. You would have women sign up for the draft for the Navy only, and then you would assign them to ships that are going on 6-month to year-long deployments. I guarantee you, before you got underway, every single one of those women would get pregnant.
That's actually a big issue right now. It's that I think it was like a stat of 75% of women who get deployed on the Navy ships get like pregnant within like the first 3 months.
That's
They have a
smart.
lot of women. They have a lot of women.
Army, they
have a lot of women on leave. So like that's the issue.
in the army, like how they situated is right before deployments is when the women typically pop up pregnant, and then no deployment for them because once they found out within a certain period, it's too late, so you can't go.
Yeah, I think we had something like 80%, 85%, Eric, when we were about to get underway of the women that were on there. They were all knocked up. It was,
Yeah, man. And people be going down on the ships, bro. You know?
Yeah, they were done. Like, and then when we had to do rescue ops on subs, this was one because that was part of my task too. Was if we were near a sub, you have to go rescue people. But the number of people I had to go to other ships because they were like, "Hey, you're going to go into port. You're going to go rescue the sub guy." Then we'd have to make a detour, go pull off some of the women that were pregnant on other ships because we were the ones headed into port. They were headed out to deep water. I'd be like, man, motherfuckers! Like, how do you like go on birth control if you're deploying or you're getting ready to deploy? That's part of your duty.
What's the man to woman? What's the man to woman ratio on those ships?
Oh, like I'd say 30 to 1. I mean, they make good money. They get paychecks. They get a whole ton of paychecks.
Depends on how many.
They come out like Lily Phillips.
Yeah,
It's probably like 3 to 1.
Definitely.
There were so there was a point where women were signing up for Kitover, and I couldn't figure this out until one girl told me. She's like, "There's a shit ton of Marines. There's only so many women there, and I'm going to be guaranteed that I'm going to meet a guy." And they were going there because they just were like, they were desirable because there was like 5 women, and so they would have.
It's so far.
Wow. Okay, so
That's what our war
we
effort.
used to send some people used to send their daughters to college to find a husband. Are you suggesting that they instead send them to the Navy?
Yeah, you're not gonna find a husband.
I don't know if you're going to find a husband, but you're definitely
I'm
going to
gonna
get a
sign the
grandchild
fuck
out of
up.
it.
Yeah, we're Brad. You're not gonna find a husband. That's not. I wouldn't look for that type of relationship in there.
Oh, so they're just
Dude,
getting pregnant?
But one thing I'm gonna tell you that I can't stand, and I'm glad that Pete Hexus is like, one of those people like me, is women in leadership positions, bro. Especially when they're higher ranking you, bro. How's that?
They're so chill. They kicked me.
always say that, and I'm never like.
You don't even need to finish that. Yep, of course.
Okay, and so you do feel like it.
With night sights, I mean, that's not, inconceivable. Or not with iron sights, like that's not inconceivable. A rifle's iron sights and a pistol's iron sights are different. Simply because a pistol's iron sights are very thick and broad, and the rifles, they're like, who could possibly know? I mean, that's.
Yeah, I know. It's not like you're fucking annoying or anything. No.
Who could ever find that out? I mean, I could never understand why you would want. Yeah, crazy.
In Andrew's room anyway.
Yeah, the fact that anyone in Andrew's room has you blocked is fucking surprising. The only thing I would think is some of the Clubhouse people have been coming back, or it's from Discord, I mean, like Tom's people, because, like, John Lee's not around anymore. So, of course, he's been hanging out here more. So they're trying to get more entertainment from here now.
Words.
I know. Yeah. Right.
For the record, there's a lot of mods in Andrew's room that have been blocked. And there's like 5 I can name off the top of my head. Yeah.
I think the one that had me blocked was Ryan for the longest time. He had me blocked for the hottest minute, and then he unblocked me. Yeah, Ryan, what's his name? You don't know what his fucking name is. I think his name's Ryan. Same thing. He's the one that had the fucking weird smiley fucking photo. Fucking weirdo.
Hi, everybody. Hey,
Toast was telling us about going on with the helm, how it operates, and what's going on. This dude was just sitting here complaining about a guy hijacking the show because he doesn't prefer him.
I'm sorry.
For this female, and then you're like, no, it's okay, Babs, it's fine. But he was
Babs,
see like the inconsistency here in the thought pattern. Like it's like
Even
this
though
one guy here, he's not allowed, but he happens to be black. But you're allowed to like hijack the show though, and he's gonna sit there and talk to you though.
Wait,
Like, what's up with
he's
this
not even
one
black.
dude,
He wasn't even black.
Babs has a history.
Dude, what's going on with that?
Babs has like a known record in career here, right?
Yeah, Mondo's a total goofball.
Yeah. I have no idea.
Yeah, but what's the difference here? Like why are you saving for this chick?
He's a complete and utter goofball.
I've known Babs for 2 years.
Babs actually kind of hates Toast, so it's funny.
Yeah, I mean,
Toast is kind of the worst.
But still, like at least Babs has like a record on here, right? I don't even know that other guy.
Yeah, but why are you simping for him though?
Okay, I'll shut up.
I'm
Simping, dude.
Sorry, I'm simping too hard here. My
He
bad.
doesn't get you.
Jesus, Toast, calm down. Calm down, bro.
Just been a
Jesus
while.
Christ.
Yeah, Jay doesn't get you, Toast.
Hate's a very strong word. I strongly
He thinks
dislike
you're
you.
sociopathic.
I know I am. I mean, like, I'm not a sociopath.
Toast. I think Jay thinks Toast is sociopathic and like,
Oh,
like
that's true.
total like dishonest interlocutor and stuff like that.
Yeah,
I
Jay
heard
says
the
that.
shoe thing. I heard the shoe thing. That seemed pretty dishonest. What are you doing?
It's kind of like nobody here would get it. It's a joke with another room.
Yeah, I'm guessing with like a bunch of Nazis, right?
Actually, they don't really. I've never seen a Nazi
Yeah,
like that.
a black and white photo of a shoe drive. I'm thinking a la like 1944 era Poland. I'm guessing that photo was taken.
Actually, it was like 1930s Britain for this photo. So
Right,
way
oh my-
before the
This
Holocaust.
is why we can't have nice fucking thing.
It's funny that it's a joke that no one in here would get. Like, why would you come with that? So like you're a comedian.
It's not like. Do you think I changed my profile for like every room I'm in?
I
No, I don't. I keep my profile very like. I keep it the
I
same.
think you're
Yeah, you're only
more
doing it.
reasonable.
You're doing it mostly for shock value, right?
Yeah.
Music room.
Because you know it's like triggering and it's very polarizing, right? You're doing it
Very
intentionally,
forehand Edward.
simply for the posterizing, right?
But there's a little bit more to it, right? There's a little more context that we're missing here.
Is there
that
something about
I
your
don't want to
deep-held beliefs that you're trying to transmute to us so we understand you better?
I'm not trying to transmute it.
Right. So you're just doing it for shock value, right?
No, it's not.
There's more. There's more than that. You're actually trying to give us a message.
I'm not trying to give you a fucking message.
Okay, so what is it? What is your
Let me
what's your
change my. Do I need to change your profile picture?
No. I just wanted to know what it was. What's the
man.
intention?
Do we have to talk about it?
Yeah.
We do.
Yeah, why not? You brought it up.
I didn't bring it up. Jay brought
You
it up.
have a
I didn't bring it
PPR
up.
of that image, so we're asking about it.
I didn't bring it up.
Yeah, well, you did because you put the PTR. Like, you can ask me about orcas if you want.
I can't. Does it mean anything to you? Or it means something to you?
Which, your image or mine?
No, or you have some sort of like deeply held belief about orcas?
Yep.
But like this is like I think it's like low
No
brow.
pun intended. You know
yeah,
what
I don't think it's like very high
Cages
value.
shouldn't be shallow. They shouldn't be
Told
cages.
you. Your pic's from freaking Auschwitz, dude. Fucking liar.
Do profile pictures like really mean that much to people?
Mine does. And Drew, I pick it purposely for this. Some people.
I'm just being cute in mine. But anyways, like I don't do like anti-Jew stuff in my PFP normally. I mean, maybe I'm based to some degree. I just don't like to be a piece of shit. You know what I mean?
Well, he doesn't mean anti-Jews. He means something else. That's what I'm asking about.
That's right. That's right.
What do you mean, Toast? When you have that image, what's your meaning behind it?
Yeah, there was the shoe drive in 1930s Britain, right? And they collected a lot of shoes for children
Fuck
at
off.
the school, and they put it all together in this giant pile, and the whole community got shoes. What's wrong with that?
You're so fucking dishonest. If I ever catch you on a street, bro, it's on site.
You'll
It's
never
on
see
fucking
me.
site,
Don't worry.
bro.
I forgot
Yeah,
I said you.
I'd hide your fucking ugly ass mug too, bitch. Like shit.
You don't even know what it looked like. I don't think you know my
Oh
face.
yeah, I do remember.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. Yeah. It's been many months.
I just did an image search for shoe drive 1930s Britain. Fine.
Keep looking, you'll find it.
Jefferson.
Keep looking, Jefferson.
No, I saw enough, man. To know you're full of shit anyway.
Just keep looking, and you'll find it.
So what is it, Toast? Like, what's going on there? What's the basic like outline, Roman numeral 1 of your? Is there a premise that people are calling you out on, or something that they think you hold? Like, what's going on?
Like, you're making people right. You're pointing out exactly what he said. You're not worth taking serious.
I don't know if Babs could even call. I mean, Babs might even like be honest for like 5 seconds and know the premise here. But
I'm sorry, I'm listening to rap music. What?
Well, you're not even listening to the conversation.
Okay.
She's not even listening.
So let's get to let's get to some subject matter here. Like, I'm trying to figure it out. So what is the premise behind your position, Toast? Is someone judging you unfairly about something they think you believe? Is that what's going on?
Look, I don't want to be the center of attention. I'll just leave. It's okay. I'll go make lunch or something.
Hey, man, thanks for coming down.
Yeah. All right. You guys have a good day.
Have a good day, folks.
Thank you.
That's funny.
Cuts the fuck out.
East Coast, literally.
Oh my god. A garbage person. I don't want to be I guess I'm gonna go.
Yeah, I just wanted to find out his belief that, like, he thought he was being wrongly accused of or something, and he didn't want to clarify.
Honey, be careful. Subscribe. He's gonna hypnotize everybody here.
Oh, I know. Yeah, he's hypnotic.
Okay. Well, let me just say something, that all communication is hypnosis, and you have to be mindful.
What?
I agree.
You have to be mindful of your language, because you can hypnotize people. Fuck that.
You know what? That's right. I think Biggie Smalls wrote a song about this called "Hypnotized." You should listen to that. My Detroit plays. Anyway.
Yeah, are there any theists? Any people that believe that a god is writing things and telling you what to do?
You like Buddy's pizza?
Yeah, best pizza.
That's
Okay, pretty good.
Buddy's.
I think Jetson's better though.
That's funny. I used to live in Detroit. So
And buddies, come on.
I'm
Jetson's better.
yeah.
Anyways, back to the thing. Any theists?
Hi, I'm a theist, and I'd like to argue on behalf of God.
Do tell.
Yes, God is the universe, and this is the theory of everything. That everything is God. All is God. All words, all fat people, all atheists, all gay people, all you know, all awesome people, super rainbow people, even the worst of the worst people, like Nazis. They're all God. That's the theory of everything. I am complete.
Wow, what a terrible take. Cool. Let me see here.
I like it, dude. That was good.
Yes. I mean, like, so are you, like, the type of, like, everything is God, like, animism, like the Native Americans believed, or, like, everything, like, in, like, a what's that, like, pantheism? Pantheism and animism are, like, the same thing, but I don't think they are necessarily.
I think his answer would be yes. Redford, are you do you work at a pizza restaurant?
Yeah. I work at a Pizza Hut.
Nice. That's cool. That's like the best pizza, huh?
Yeah, it's decent. I prefer Buddy's Pizza or Green Lantern or.
Okay. You actually like Pizza Hut, huh? Are you a Christian?
Am I Christian? I grew up Christian Catholic. And I'm not.
You're not now.
Yeah, I'm not very religious anymore.
You don't believe God's real?
Oh man, I just question it. I did the Sunday school, everything. You know, after a while, I'm like, why am I here? My parents were like very religious.
Have you ever read a book?
What's that book?
Did you go to Brother Rice?
Did you go to Brother Rice? Stop it, Jeff.
It says Redford.
Oh my god, actually. What's Redford Union?
Crossman.
But yeah, man, I just question it after a while because I'm like, should churches really be taking donations like every Sunday, passing the basket? I would see 50s, hundreds dollars, and I'm like, people are struggling.
Pastor needs a plane, man.
They're just asking for money, and they're tax exempt. Like, what are they doing?
Grifting.
So yeah, that's when I started to question.
What about the God stuff? Did you believe the stories about God and like Samson and Delilah and all that shit?
Yeah, well, when I was younger, yeah. I mean, I did the whole Sunday school, did my communion.
You believed it when you read that story about Samson and Delilah and hundreds of foxes? And, like,
Yeah.
Stuff like that?
When I was younger, but like now.
You did? You believed it when you were like when you were 10? You like read the book and you're like, yeah, that totally happened.
Yeah.
He's Catholic.
Oh, that's weird, dude. See, I didn't believe it. I was just like, what?
He said he was Catholic. They didn't read the Bible.
Yeah, that's the thing I wonder. I wonder if people actually really like they think they read this stuff when they were kids and believed it. And I don't think they did. I think they were just like
They're offended.
I think they were just on autopilot. Yeah, like I don't think anyone's really thinking about it at all when they're little.
No, we had religion class, you know, they taught you all about the stuff you're supposed to learn. Not the stuff they didn't want you to learn.
I mean, when they remade Superman in 1910 and made it into a cartoon, it's the same story as Samson and Delilah. It's just, you know, Clark Kent works at a fucking, you know, news office nowadays. I mean, it's the same fucking story over and over again. It's always the story of Hercules.
And a Phoenix. Phoenix Rising story.
Well, there are only 11 notes technically until you get to the next octave. But so yeah, you got to rehash that stuff, man. You know, reinvent. Nothing wrong with a little reimagining, you know.
Well, Joe B, are you a Muslim still? You're in the audience there, Joe.
Whoa, Joe is Muslim?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you know, we do need a Muslim on stage. Come up, Joe.
Yeah, we need someone who's religious and thinks God is real. And I know Joe's not a Muslim. That's why I'm goading her. She's a Christian.
Oh, she's Christian.
Yeah, she thinks Yahweh is real.
Well, she's an avid Christian. You can't talk right now? Aren't you supposed to be prepared to like...
1 Peter 3:15. It's funny because I feel like none of them really believe it because they say that God has a book that's all divine and holy and shit, and they've never really read it. They barely read the shit. So like, if God really wrote a book, right? Let's just make it simple. Do you think you read it? I'm sorry.
Well, they use belief differently. You know, like belief that all that stuff they believe is the same as belief the sun is going to rise tomorrow. Those are two different things. They're not the same level of belief. One requires faith, one doesn't.
Yeah, I don't know what the reasons are. What's your reason, Joe? Are you a Muslim or a Christian?
Wait, Henry, I just want to interrupt Joe before she answers and her dentures fall out. The point is, honey, you made a good point that if God really wrote a book, you'd think people would be really interested in the book of God, right? But they're not.
Yeah, they pretend they are, they act like they are, but you expose that they're not.
I've never been a Muslim.
Sorry, Joe. Yeah, I know. That's why I said I was goading you up here because I know you're Christian.
I know.
But you're not really as much of a Christian as you were like last year, right? Because of the things you've learned on Clubhouse.
No, I'm more of a Christian than anything else.
Even being in Uncle Steve's rooms all those times, you're more of a Christian.
Oh yeah, that sharpens the knife.
What was more believable to you now that you've been on Clubhouse?
That we are all sinners and we all have weaknesses.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm not a sinner. No. That's a word made up by you Christian people.
Right. You keep believing that. I'll see you in. I won't see you in heaven. Sorry, bud. Sorry.
Yeah, you won't. You won't see me in heaven. You're right.
Do you think I'll see you in heaven?
But Joby, why do you focus on the negative, which is weakness and the fact that we're sinners? I mean, don't you have anything positive to actually, regurgitate from? If you're such a Christian, can you tell us some of the positive things that Jesus maybe put out? What were the positive things that Jesus tried to tell his disciples so the world might know the intelligence? It's Jesus put out a message. We're all weak and sinners. Great advice, Joby. Great advice.
Take a nap, buddy.
I don't think you're really familiar with evangelists. Don't you think judgment is reserved for God and God alone, not for you?
We all stand in judgment, whether we're right or not.
That's reserved for God and God alone. Why would you?
I agree with you. We all do it naturally, whether we want to or not.
Yeah, but that doesn't answer.
Wait a minute.
That's just begging the question.
Let me put my teeth in for idiot.
Yeah, that doesn't answer the question. It's yes, God reserves judgment, and judgment is reserved for God alone. Why are you judging me?
No, it's an individual relationship. Do you have one?
Yeah, I'm Catholic.
Okay, there you go. I do too.
But you're kind of evading the question here. Like, isn't judgment reserved for God and God alone?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So why are you doing that?
I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but yes.
Well, typically there are some Christians, some flavors and branches of Christianity that come to people with hate. And I think if you come to people with hate, that's not a good way to be.
Are you new to Clubhouse?
No, I've been here for a while, but you approaching people with hate and speaking about their sin, when you're sinning yourself, is not a good thing to do.
Please don't take me out of context.
Well, I mean, isn't this why judgment is reserved for God and God alone? You should come to people in love.
Yes, I said yes. What do you want me to do? Stand on my head?
So why wouldn't you talk about the great benefits of Christianity instead of talking about people's sin? Why don't you talk about like mercy and grace and things like this?
I can. You start. Go ahead.
Yeah, but why don't you do that?
No, don't answer me with a question. Go ahead.
I'm asking why don't you do that? Like, why do you approach? Why didn't you do that? Because then, like, after you spoke, the first thing I asked you, and I know it gets crowded up here, but I asked, do you think I'm going to heaven?
I don't know.
I'm asking Joe.
Oh, okay.
That's between you and God.
Oh, okay, yeah. So I'm probably going to heaven then, right? Because I wouldn't choose something bad, right?
If you say so, bud.
I mean, do you think I would choose something bad when I'm dead?
I don't know if you have a say at that point.
Well, wait. What about you? Are you going to choose? Is it between you and God?
No, he's going to decide based on my relationship with him. I said it 3 times. Are you listening?
Okay. So you think that God's like maybe more pleased with my relationship with him than he is with yours, maybe?
I don't think he cares for individuals.
Oh, he doesn't care about individuals?
All right, stop fucking with me.
Sorry. Well, it's that easy, folks.
That's how we do it on the roast.
Ignorance.
Okay, which part are you having a problem with, Joe? Just let me know.
I'm not answering your questions.
All right.
Bring some content. Bring some content, big boy.
Well, would you like to continue as an adult, or did you want to just dodge and be like this?
I'm not
Do you believe in infancy baptism, or do you think like somebody should be baptized later on in their life when they can choose it?
What Bible are you reading? There's 7 I've read. Which version? King James,
I'm
NIV, which version are you reading?
Any of them.
I'm just asking you.
There you go.
Yeah, any of them. Whatever one you want. What do you think, Joe? Your pick. Go ahead, Joe. Based on your knowledge of the Bible, tell us how that applies. Go ahead. I thought you said you were here for the games. You didn't want to play anymore?
I never said that. Now you're being ridiculous.
You know, honey, I think it goes.
So I'm asking you to just.
Honey, I think it just goes back to the fact that it's a roast. And a lot of people think they know a lot, but they really just don't know half of anything of what they say. And thus, you know, a lot of Christians. Yeah.
Attention, dude.
But this is a barbecue. And, you know, Joe Blackator, this is your roast. Welcome.
So Joe, does your church do infancy baptism, or do they wait until the person is a certain age to baptize them and they can choose it?
That's an individual choice based on your relationship. Are you going to interrupt me?
So it's a choice again.
Okay, wait. So just to clarify, okay, fair enough. I don't want to misrepresent you. So just to clarify, you don't believe in infancy baptism. You have to wait until you develop a relationship with Christ. Is that what you're saying?
No, I did not say that. I'm going to go down and listen because you're not bringing any content here. But thank you for letting me speak.
You're welcome, Joe. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, so you get these like different flavors of Christianity where like they don't believe in infancy baptism, which is something that Calvin and even Luther did themselves. But then you get these different flavors in the United States, and then they say, well, a child can't choose to have a relationship with the Lord, so we're not going to do infancy baptism, even though there's clear evidence, you know, even like 1,700 years ago they did this, all the way up to like, you know, the protest of the Catholic Church. Calvin and Luther did this. My next question would have been is like, why don't you follow the tradition in such a way? How did they come to this conclusion through interpretation of Scripture to like change the tradition of like baptism? So, you know, it's a particular sacrament within the church, and it's like, well, and that kind of answers the question there. But like, why are all these different flavors of Christianity? And it's based on like, this is why we have 30,000 different denominations in the United States. So you get like this evangelist church, and they do things differently, and their pastor will get a divorce, and they're like, okay, we got to explain this away. So we're going to change a couple of things, and they're not in communion with each other. They're not connected. That's why there's 30,000 flavors of Christianity. That's why
you're right. It's kind of weird that the all-powerful creator of the universe can't have one consistent message. You know, it's almost like he doesn't exist. People just made it up.
Well, that's in the Bible as well. Like, you're supposed to have like one consistent message. Is the point?
Well, I know, but to me, the point is it doesn't seem consistent. It's all over the place.
Well, the reason why this happens is quote mining. You have people that quote mine out of the Bible, so they'll play hopscotch all over the Bible and quote mine, and then make this like potato head style religion and base it. It's just
Probably because God had it in writing, instead of actually just like imagine if the book, imagine if you picked it up and you picked it up and everyone who read it, it reached their mind and their understanding in whatever language was their native tongue, right? It just made sense. It was that divine. Like, why couldn't that just be the case? It sounds like you're just saying this is a poor way to communicate a message.
I mean, not exactly. I think people using their private interpretation of like what said scriptures are devoid of the tradition. It's like when you kind of get into this question.
You're saying like the tradition isn't adequately passed down.
Well, no, it's not inadequately passed down. The most popular branch of Christianity is Catholicism. There's over 1 billion Catholics.
Yeah, but you just said there's like 33,000 denominations, dude.
Yeah, there is, but
it just doesn't sound like God. Because are you saying like God's just not interested in being?
Go look up the statistics, honey. Like
I just want to know: is the basic claim just getting down to this like reduction that God probably isn't interested in getting his message across clearly within a few thousand years?
Clearly, he's got his message across in a few thousand years.
I would disagree. I would disagree that it's clearly been communicated.
But it's communicated. Go look up the population statistics.
Catholics are 1 billion by the sword.
On the planet. It's the most popular branch of
Hey,
Christianity.
Catholic, listen. You guys converted people by the sword. That's why you have 1 billion people. You exterminated people.
No, that's a Muslim thing.
Oh, you didn't do that in South America? You didn't do that in the coasts of Africa?
No, we're stopping people from cutting other people's heads off and rolling them downstairs because that's crazy.
You put a lot of people to the sword. You're no different than this jihadist Islamist people.
Yeah, we also pushed back dozens of Islamics and sent them packing where they belong.
No, you didn't. You allowed Byzantium to fall because of your raid. Because of your raid and looting.
Sir, are you Jewish?
The reason Byzantium fall is because of the Catholic incursion and your looting. So
I just want to, sir. Are you? I know you're gonna start screaming a bunch of things. I just want to know if you're Jewish.
No, it's not about screaming. It's a fact. We cannot hold Catholicism.
So you're Jewish, right?
The reason. Hold on. You spoke. I listened to you, right? So the reason Protestantism and evangelicalism exist. Protestantism and evangelical exist because of your malpractice of your cardinals.
I keep asking you the same question.
You're not going to ask me. The reason Protestantism and evangelicalism, Calvinism, Anglicanism exists is because your malpractice of Christianity by your Pope, by your cardinals, and by your false worship of Christianity. Your ruthless, bloodthirsty Pope and Rome. So don't here to lecture about Christianity to other Christians like you are some pious Christian. You are not. Catholicism is the bloodiest Christianity on this planet. You don't follow the teaching of Christ. So stop lying. So don't blame Protestants and evangelicals because they broke off from you, because of your child molestation, your murder, and your other evil practices.
Okay, that's great. Are you Jewish?
Not a Jew.
Yeah, I really don't know where he's coming from with this.
I don't either, but his silence made me think that no.
Yeah, because if you were just not Jewish, or if you were Jewish, you would just say yes or no. I wouldn't just answer the question.
It's fine.
So yeah, so it sounds like basically I'm right. Like that was kind of, I think, more evidence of what I was saying. It's that if I were to just look at the evidence over time, like just the last 5,000, let's go deeper. Let's go 100,000. All hominids, all humanoids. Doesn't seem to be the case that God is super interested in being very clear.
That's all.
I just want to point out how J4 kept his mouth shut when I muted him so that guy could talk, and he kept his mouth shut the whole time. I think that should be applauded. Well done, sir.
Well, yeah, I mean, you guys want to listen to what he's saying. You guys are hosting the stream, so if you want to listen to what he's saying, this is just rhetoric at the end of the day. He just wants to achieve the goal of making the Catholic Church look bad.
It's not about one. It was just letting him speak. No one wanted to hear that.
Yeah. I mean, if you guys find what he's saying is important, but I mean, can he?
And he's right? I mean, like Catholicism was spread a lot by violence, right?
So, are you going to talk about the good
violence and force? Right.
Okay. So, what about?
And you were making the claim. It seemed like you were trying to separate yourself from other denominations, like the other 32,000, denominations that aren't Catholic in nature, and that you have some semblance of a clear message from God. Is that what you're trying to get to?
Yeah, I can deal with the straw man of it, but I mean, are we?
Well, is that accurate though? Because that's why you were talking. That's what you were saying.
No, it's not accurate.
Well, all I said is that it doesn't seem like it's clear that God is interested in getting his message across clearly. And then you were saying, to counter that, you were saying, well, it's true that most of my people have been having a very clear communication with God. Isn't that kind of what you were saying?
Is that what I said?
Yeah, in a sense. I thought that's what you were saying.
Yeah, it's a straw man, dude. I didn't say
Okay, is that disagreeable? Do you not think you're getting a clear message? Because that would just prove my point even further.
Well, how do you know what you know, dude? That's.
Oh, okay. Okay, oh, really? You that early? You're gonna do that quick, dude? Come on.
Really? So you don't know?
Dude, I'm lost, bro. This is too high level for me now, dude. You're like getting really deep.
If you want to straw man like the Catholic Church on the basis of,
No, I'm asking you where's the part you disagree with? I asked you.
Yeah, you're just stereotyping.
Okay, so let me know which part is wrong.
All of it's wrong.
Okay, so you guys don't have the clear communication from God?
No, we didn't go around raping and pillaging.
Wait, do you have clear communication from God? Yes or no?
I mean, I'm trying to talk about the points. That this
okay, well, we'll go to that next.
Here, how about this? I was Catholic, so I'll entertain you. So do you think that wearing condoms is a sin?
Yeah, conception is bad.
Okay, so that's what they say. Now, I left because I didn't agree with their stance. Do you think that that's the right reason to leave?
Well, should you be a slave to your desires and go out and bang every chick that you can and avoid all the consequences of having children?
Why do you think that's my desire?
I was in a married couple.
A lot of protection, dude.
What's wrong with me wearing a condom? I'm trying to
These guys always let us know why they feel so simple.
You don't think there's something wrong with hedonism?
Do you think I should have left the Catholic religion, having not agreed with that stance?
So answer the question. You don't think there's an issue with hedonism?
There's an issue with hedonism.
No, not in my life.
There's an issue with hedonism, Jay.
Yeah, you don't think the Catholic prescription doesn't combat hedonism?
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing behind closed doors. It sounds like they have a lot of ornate things, a lot of money, a lot of pageantry, a lot of high-scale development efforts. Like they have endless resources that are pumping into the little mini state. So I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and they also give those resources to scientific organizations and hospitals.
That's awesome.
Okay, so do you think I should have left the Catholic religion because I disagreed with their stance on the use of condoms?
Am I addressing 3 people at the same time?
Yes. 4 people.
It's fine. You don't have to answer because we know the answer. Yeah.
You don't know the answer. I'm saying you don't think that the Catholic prescription combats hedonism, and do you think hedonism is a great philosophy to have?
Condom had nothing to do with hedonism.
And who cares, Jay? What is your point, dude? What are you getting to?
I just think you guys don't know what hedonism is.
Look, I know what hedonism is. That's why I said there's a problem with it, which Jefferson seemed not to want to just say, there's a problem with hedonism, so we'll fuck what?
Why are you speaking for Jefferson? Let him speak for himself.
I'm trying to speed this up a little bit.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm okay.
He's a big boy.
Well, I mean, he answered you.
No, he didn't.
He said he had a problem with it, personally.
I can't hear what everybody's saying when they're speaking all at once.
Okay, let's just grant it. There's a problem with hedonism, and the Catholics try to slow down the approach to life in a hedonistic manner. Is that your claim?
No, my claim would actually be, let's just grant that it's all made up. There is no magic sky down.
Wait, you don't want to focus on what you were saying after all
Dude,
that?
are you gonna like let me talk, or are you just gonna?
Dude, you're just a rambler. You just jump around.
I got 3 people fucking rambling at me. That's
Dude,
okay.
we're still on the same topic. I was trying to get your position, and you didn't want to get.
What? So let me fucking give you my position.
You're just such a dodger, dude. You're not really a Catholic.
Didn't I just sit there and listen to some guy fucking rant so you guys can sit there and go, fucking stereotype this thing, yeah.
No. I'm just saying, like, look.
Yeah.
Are you saying that the Romans didn't help spread Christianity by force?
No, they didn't spread Christianity by force. They were
Not at all.
Persecuted. They were persecuted by the Romans.
Like they were.
Yeah, they were.
And then they weren't, right?
Yeah. Did they have any reason to believe they do?
Do you think the Spanish?
Like, why on earth would a bunch of Romans follow a Jewish guy that died on a cross? Why would they do that?
Because they wanted it to be Christianity.
Okay, so doesn't that defeat like this whole concept of like the Christians went around forcing people to be fucking Christian when they were persecuted?
No, I'm saying that. Look. Let's just ditch that. You're right. Okay, there was no force involved. Okay, is that what your claim is? No force involved.
That's not what my claim is.
Okay, well then never mind. Let's just ditch it. We're at a stalemate.
Every 5
We're at a
seconds.
stalemate. No. We're at a stalemate. Next one.
Oh, we're not at a stalemate. You keep contradicting.
Okay, then what? Okay, then I take it back. I was wrong. You're right. Okay.
Okay, so let me address Jefferson now. I want to clarify something with him.
I just granted it to you, dude. I just conceded. I gave you the win, dude.
Okay, so let me talk.
The Romans didn't spread Christianity by force.
Let me talk to Jefferson now.
Okay. Well, first, I have no problem with hedonism. It wasn't a problem for me.
Oh, see, didn't Honey just contradict you and say that yes, there is a problem with hedonism? Now you're saying no, there isn't.
Wait, are you saying that it's sometimes when these conversations get caught?
This is what happens when you let other people speak for you, man. So you don't think there's an issue with hedonism?
Didn't I just correct the statement? Go on.
So which one is it?
I don't care about hedonism. It wasn't a problem for me.
See, there you go, honey. So you
great. Okay, so now you understand his position. Now what?
Okay, so you don't think the Catholic prescription, even if it was fake, even if it was all made up, has a good effect on society by reducing the effects of hedonism, chasing our desires for pleasure that have long-term consequences to it? You don't think that prescription is good for society?
I don't think that. No, I don't think that there's positive and negatives, right? You're gonna say that all the other bad stuff that they did, you can't just have it both ways.
So you don't think the prescription of like maintaining some sort of boundary in relationships where people aren't constantly chasing these hedonistic pleasure desire values to reduce what is that? The fuck is that? Give me a second.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Do you have a problem with the Catholic Church hiding pedophile priests all over the globe? For how long? See how that works?
Do you see how that works? Okay, thank you. Do you see how it works when we have institutions like governments? The church is an institution in itself comparably. And let's just grant, like I said, let's pretend for a minute it's all fake, it's all fucking made up. It has a good effect on society, right? Don't governments have good effects on society?
Yes, on some level.
Okay, can the government?
Yeah, same thing with religion, dude. Why is this like new news? I was trying to get you to tell me if you communicated clearly with God.
Government
is a bigger picture item that you're dodging, which is hilarious.
So you don't want to listen to the explanation. You just want
the explanation for what? What are you describing to us now? That's so deep.
Corruption of institutions can be corrupted and privy to corruption.
Of course.
Yeah. So you know that. What's your problem?
So then, what's your point?
The point is this one fucking sour apple spoil the whole fucking bunch.
No. There's plenty of churches and plenty of dioceses like that, right?
No, there's plenty of fucking Democrats that do that.
Yeah, I would agree. There's a bunch of fucked up shit. What about it?
Exactly. We can agree on
Yeah, but okay, so let's just get to the bigger picture item then. So, are you claiming that Catholics have a clear
apples in there? Does it spoil the whole fucking bunch? Is every person?
I already said no.
Okay. So let's move on now. So we agree.
Okay, so here, let's get back to the bigger subject. Okay. So, do you believe that as a Catholic, you're receiving a clearer message from God than other denominations?
Yes.
And what would that be? What differentiates you? What piece of information can you share with us now?
Because there's no private interpretation.
Okay, what's the piece of information that you're getting more clearly than
Just sat here and like invited up another Christian on here that had a bunch of shoes as his PTR, pretending as if he's not sending some kind of a Nazi Christian nationalistic message, which I think is completely fucking psychotic.
Yeah, you destroyed him, dude.
Yeah, that's wrong. That's all about.
Okay, so what is the piece of information that you guys have more clearly figured out?
Private interpretation of said scripture. He's going to sit here and try to talk.
Why are you talking about someone who's not in the room?
It's an example.
Well, I'm asking you a question. Just give me the information really quick.
Funny.
You don't want to provide the information quickly?
We can't use examples now.
So you don't want to provide the information of what you get better than other denominations?
Let me ask you some questions now. How about that?
No, I want you to answer that one, and then I'll answer anything you want.
Okay, what do you want me to answer?
The same question I asked you 7 times.
Can you ask it again, please? You asked a bunch.
What piece of information do you think you've gleaned as a Catholic in particular that differentiates you from the knowledge base of another denomination that you think is inferior?
Okay, history for an example. They don't believe in Constantinople. They don't believe in the Council of Nicaea. They don't recite the Nicene Creed. They don't maintain the tradition, even though it's been maintained for about 1,200 years before the Protestant Reformation, when they rejected the Catholic Church, and then Luther threw out 1st and 2nd Maccabees for an example, which is part of the scripture. And then you had a Scottish branch of Christianity that threw out the Apocrypha. So they don't even know what any of these books are. So they could take the printing press and shorten up the book. That's how they get the King James Version. I mean, King James didn't really even do much. I don't even know why they call it the KJV.
Okay, I agree. So now what's the piece of information, though, that you guys have better?
There's lots of information that these guys...
Give me the best one, because you've told me all this history stuff. I can't... Look, I'm not as quick as you, and I can't really track conversations as well as you can. So I'm trying to figure out just the simple, like, dumb this down for me, dude. What is the information that you've gleaned as a Catholic that someone who is a Protestant or Reformed or whatever the hell they are, all of those, Presbyterian, Lutheran, what piece of information have you guys figured out that makes the communication more clear?
Pay attention. There's a heavy base going back to 1,700 years ago based on tradition. This is what the early church fathers did. And based on their private interpretation, they disregard all of these things. That's why I was asking that other lady here, Joe, as an example, do you do infancy baptism? She didn't want to answer that question.
Right, she didn't. Yeah.
Why? Because it's private interpretation.
Do you need to be baptized to take on the Holy Spirit?
All children should be baptized. You can
is it required? Can the Holy Spirit be dwelling within me or around me or whatever the relationship is without being baptized?
Part of the sacrament.
Is it impossible for the Holy Spirit to be within me without being baptized?
To be honest, man, I don't know. I can go look it up for you.
Okay, good answer. Good answer. Yeah, because you didn't want to answer directly, and then when you answered directly, you said I don't know. So you could have just said I don't know right at the beginning, right?
Dude, you asked me a bunch of fucking questions. Now
I'm gonna ask you the same question in 3 different ways because you were dodging.
No, you didn't ask me the same question.
I asked you if the Holy Spirit could only be within me through a baptism. That's all I asked you. That's all I've asked you.
Dude, let's be clear here. You asked me 20 questions, not the same one in a variety of ways. You asked me multiple questions in dozens of ways.
Okay, which one did you want to address next then? If I asked you so many.
I don't know, dude. Like, there's so fucking.
We'll just pick one of the dozens. Pick one of the dozens.
Hold on. Let's be clear here. When you said it, I'm going to ask you this last one, and I get to ask you one.
I want you to pick from the dozens that you said.
Didn't let me ask you a question afterwards. You asked me 3 more.
You're not even like playing chess with me, dude. You're like starting a chess game and you're like playing like how Darren Brown plays against 9 dudes. That's what you're doing.
Okay.
Yeah, you just don't want to finish a game. You just want to like engage in these little mini battles over pawns and fucking bishops, and then you like move to another table or something. It's weird.
I wonder what his question is.
Technically, I am moving to 3 different tables. I had 3 people dogpiling me. I mean, isn't that what I'm doing? That's a good, accurate description.
No, you're not really. You're not dealing with three different people, dude.
Well, the one of them just left, but now it's two of them.
Dude, that guy did a rant and shut up a half hour ago, bro.
More like 10 minutes ago.
Who cares?
Okay, so
So we're still talking about you and your meta. That's all we're doing is talking about you and your meta.
You and my meta. Okay, great.
Yeah. So do you want to answer a question directly?
I've answered all of your questions directly.
Okay.
And then
So you don't know if baptism is necessary, correct?
So weren't you going to answer one of my questions, and now you asked me another one? You asked me three of them. You said you would answer one of mine, right?
What's your question?
Okay. Why do you care?
About your position?
Yeah.
To expose how silly this fucking shit is? Nothing more.
To expose how silly it is? Is that what you think you're doing?
Yeah.
You really think you're exposing how silly my position is?
Okay, how many times do you need to hear an affirmative response to a question asked? Just give me a number and I'll keep coming up with answers that are synonymous with yes.
You don't think you're exposing yourself when you're constantly straw man.
Oh no, I'm roasting myself as well.
Fair enough.
Notice how he just answered the questions. That's interesting.
Yeah, I answered a billion of your questions. I only asked one.
Okay, so of those billions, what's the next one you want to answer?
So your goal, your rhetoric is to achieve that my position. You're trying to expose my position as false. That's what you're doing, right?
Okay, well, look, I'll give you back the dozens instead of the billions. I know that's big. Of the dozens you mentioned, what would you like to answer?
I answered all of them.
Okay, can you just give me the top three answers you gave?
I don't know, man. There's a lot of them.
Yeah, I don't think you know much. I think you're just good at rhetoric.
You think well, aren't you just isn't this rhetoric? Isn't this a means?
Yeah, no, I admit it. I'm good at it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, you're not good at it.
No, I am. I'm good at it.
Really?
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna beat you like a Christian and like a liar. I don't get this shit. Like, what the fuck?
What, you don't think like being a straw? You're building straw houses, dude, right? You don't think like sitting here burning my worldview down based on straw means is gonna achieve your goal?
Okay, which did I straw man?
Every single bit of it.
You can never provide anything substantive. It's funny.
You don't think right now the means and the goals that you're using right now to achieve this is not rhetoric?
It's so easy, dude. Look, I'm not bragging. Right? This isn't a brag fest.
Uh-huh.
So what do you think you've provided?
Historical evidence? I mean, you can go look that
Historical evidence for what?
The Catholic Church.
Catholic Church what? That it exists?
We weren't just sitting here talking about something of substance for like the past 10 minutes. Now
in a more, yeah, I guess so. So what do you want to talk about now?
I don't know what you're talking about now.
Well, what are your questions? I mean, if you want to know more things, I'll answer them.
All right, cool. Do you look at the world and through, like, are you a subjectivist? Do you believe in subjective morality?
Yeah.
Okay. So you base things on your opinions, your emotions, your feelings, and your preferences, right?
Yeah, just like you.
Okay. Well, no, I don't. My preference.
Oh, you don't do that?
Are you? No, I don't. My preferences.
Okay. Why would you lie? I don't understand why you lie right out of the gate instead of just like slowing down, right? When something comes back at you like that, like, yeah, just like you. Instead of going, oh, I don't do that. Why don't you guys go?
Okay.
So you know what? I gotta think about that. You know what? You may be right.
Why?
You may be right. I maybe do that sometimes.
You know? Stop spurting, dude. Relax. Calm down. Okay. So if your preferences, your feelings, and opinions are valid, right? Don't you think my feelings, preferences are equally valid as yours?
Well, that's what we're trying to figure out.
Yeah. So how am I wrong?
I never said you were, did I?
So why are you trying to expose my position as wrong? If my
about God and stuff? Yeah, that's easy. Because it's just being stupid. Yeah.
Aren't those my preferences? Aren't they equally as valid as your preferences?
No.
Necessarily.
So why is it wrong?
Because I never said it was wrong. I'm just trying to figure out your position.
Yeah, you're trying to expose my position as wrong.
Yeah, no, silly. Silly.
Yeah, that's my preference.
Silly. Yeah, your position is silly.
Yeah, so what?
That's it. Like I told you, dude, this isn't deep. I'm not like trying to brag right now.
Really, it is that deep because you're trying to expose my position as something that's wrong or silly, right? And you're basing.
I believe it's wrong, and I think it's pretty evident that it is. Yeah.
Okay. So aren't you entitled to your own preferences equally?
Yeah, I think mine is accurate, and I think yours is incorrect. Yeah.
Yeah, that's your opinion. That's
why I'm on Clubhouse.
Okay, so my opinion's the same opinion as yours.
No. I don't think an invisible boss tells anyone what to do, or had his son killed so he could like you more. I don't believe that story, dude. You do. That's not my.
So my preferences are equally as valid as yours. If I think you're silly, if you don't believe it.
Yeah, you can think I'm silly for sure.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, and I would just say that my actual opinions about the subject matter are more accurate than yours, and you can find them silly if you like.
How can they be more accurate if your preferences are equally as valid as mine and my opinions and my feelings and my emotions?
Well, that's why we talk about it and expose it. That's what I'm doing. You get this, dude. Why are you acting like you don't
exposing that your preferences are equally as valid as mine?
Look, are you like? Do you think you're providing new information right now or something compelling?
It is compelling. Why would I be wrong if
look,
I'm as valid as you are? Why would it be wrong?
Dude, invite some Muslims or Christians in here, dude, because you're just like kind of stagnating.
Yeah, dude, I get it. You can't answer the question, can you?
What was the question?
The question isn't my preferences and opinions equally as valid as yours? There's no right.
No.
So your feelings and preferences are not valid. Your subjective morality is not valid.
No, mine is more valid than yours. You asked if they were equal.
More valid. Explain that.
Well, that's what we're exposing right now.
How are your subjective preferences, feelings, emotions, and opinions more valid?
Yep.
Explain that.
Okay. If I feel that the evidence supports that conscious states exist where nervous systems and brains reside, okay? Like conscious states of like awareness, not just base level, but also I'll even just give it intention. I'm intending to do this with a pseudo short-term purpose, right? Whatever you want to say. You can make that as long of a purpose as you want. Any kind of intentional state. I believe that the evidence supports that a nervous system and a brain are required, or some kind of physical substrate. I'll even just go that shallow about it. It's just merely a physical substrate. Now, if you want to say trees are conscious, fine. That's a physical substrate. So in order to have some kind of intention or conscious state of being, I believe that the evidence supports that we have that tied to a physical substrate. And we don't have evidence otherwise. Now, if you want to present evidence otherwise, that would be great. And that's what you claim your God is. So I'm already out of the gate at a loss.
That's great.
Like you just explained.
Okay, yeah, that's great, honey. An unreasonable segue into a different topic of discussion has nothing to do with why your preferences are righter than my preferences. Your subjective feelings, mental states.
Regarding what? Regarding what? Give me
regarding you trying to expose my position as silly.
Okay, I explained my part. Now, give me an example of something.
You still haven't. No. You still haven't explained to me why I'm wrong, based on my preferences. If it's your preference that it's my preference that you're wrong. Who's wrong? You still haven't explained that. You just went into some tangent about like your mental states and attitudes about like some substrate.
Are you? Is my mic turned off? Can you hear me?
I don't know, dude. I think your brain's turned off.
Hold on a second. Ron or somebody, can someone confirm that I'm audible?
Yes, you're audible.
Oh, okay. He's just talking over me. Okay. Listen, Jay. I think you're incorrect in your feelings and preferences regarding the evidence that we have for how conscious states exist in our shared reality.
Okay, now, I think the same thing.
You want to demonstrate. Wait, hold on. I'm not done. You did all that to get me talking. So I'd like you to demonstrate that you have some evidence that shows that your God is something we should even consider as being possible.
You're the one that claimed that your preferences, your emotions, your subjective morality is more correct than mine. When it's equally as valid as my own. It's not more correct. And you're not demonstrating.
I am demonstrating it. I just gave you the background.
You're not. Okay, talking about your feelings, emotions, and attitudes and opinions, dude. Your mental.
Okay, well, here, give me an example of something that isn't something that we can consider together, and we'll see how our feelings and preferences apply to it. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is that are my feelings, attitudes, and mental states equally as valid as yours?
And I keep saying no. Yeah, I say no.
How is it not?
I just gave you an example.
That's not an example.
Okay, then find the contradiction in what I said.
The contradiction is that you're saying that your preferences are more right than my preferences, even though I'm saying no, our preferences are equally valid.
Regarding what? Regarding the God concept, right?
Regarding all your mental states.
No. I was very specific. I said, here's what I'm addressing right now. Now you
regarding your mental states, attitudes, and
I said my mental states, my feelings, my opinions, my attitudes, my.
Can I ask? Try to follow
all that, dude.
Howdy, I'd like to ask Jay for another question. I'm trying to follow this. I'm not sure if I'm following what he's saying. Are you saying that your feeling that God exists is valid or as valid as any feeling that Honey has?
I'm saying that if he has a subjective preference, he has subjective morality, he bases things on his mental states, attitudes, opinions, feelings, and emotions, and he's claiming that's valid. Okay, that's great. And I'm saying, don't you think that my feelings, attitudes, mental states, and subjective opinions are equally as valid as his? And he's saying, no, mine are more right than yours. That makes no sense. That's a contradiction.
You were pretty vague there for the question.
I explained it to you.
I was just going to say, are you going to answer his question?
I clarified. He wants to know what the position.
Yeah, what's your position? Do you think that ours are equally valid?
Yeah, our feelings and mental states and attitudes and opinions are equally valid.
Okay, well, you know what? I'll just concede that. Okay, now what?
Okay, we're finished here.
That's it? That's all you wanted to say?
Thank you for
that. That's funny, dude.
Dude, these guys, it's so fun. That's so fun, dude. It's like shooting from the hip. Like I'm
talking about a conversation that went absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, dude. Like he doesn't want to talk about anything. He knows that he's just some dude thinking about shit.
Now you once you see it happens, they know they can't demonstrate their beliefs. They just.
Well, what he can't do is
kind of go like it's some indirect conversation.
Emotions are more right than mine. That's what he can't do, and that's what he's claiming.
He just gave it to you, and you had no.
Yeah, I picked a subject to apply that attitude toward, and I gave you a perfect, clean example, succinctly and illustratively, and you had nothing to say about it. And then you went off on something else again, and I just granted it. And then here we are. So basically, my real opinion still stands. I think yours is inadequate, or you're just dishonest.
No, you're just contradicting yourself. You're saying that your preferences, feelings, emotions, or mental states are valid. And then you're saying that mine are granted as well. They're equally as valid, but then you're saying mine is more right.
For the sake of the argument.
Yeah, you're saying that your feelings in subjective morality.
Yeah, we're equal. That's how I tried to start it. Remember when we started that? Remember how at the very beginning? Remember at the very beginning? Listen, I'm gonna refresh you. I always do this, so I know I did this. At the very beginning, when you start talking like this, let me fucking finish, dude. When we started talking about this, the very first thing I said is just like you do. I said I do it just like you do, and you started cracking away. Oh, you don't do it like I do it. That's what you started doing, dude. And now you're trying to argue the opposite. It's fucking maniacal shit.
That doesn't tell me anything.
Yeah, I've told you enough, dude.
Dude, that doesn't describe anything like the conversation.
Okay, here, describe what you've described so far. Go ahead.
The position is that you're saying that your subjective morality is valid. Your feelings, attitudes, opinions, all of these different things, they're all valid, right? And then I'm saying, well, don't you think my opinions, feelings, emotions on a subjective morality basis are equally as valid as yours? And you're saying yes, but mine are more right than yours.
Right. Some things are factual, yeah.
Making it not equal and valid.
Well, they're equally valid out of the gate, and then when we talk about it, like I told you, because it's a process, remember? We have to figure out what you're actually saying. And then when we hear what you actually say, like I told you, I'm just exposed to how silly it is.
No, you just exposed yourself as being silly because you're saying my subjective attitudes are more right than yours.
Yeah, on some instances, yeah, they are.
How you have yet to explain that?
Well, here I'll give you one that maybe hits a little closer to home. Do you observe the Bible
has any kind of guidance in your life?
Stop asking me questions and explain it.
Okay. Well, in your favorite book that you like, that all those guys in the costumes pitched at you when you were a little kid.
It's not an argument.
Well, I'm just lining this up so you know what I'm referring to. So you know what I'm referring to, right? The Bible. Do you know about that book? I just want to make sure we're on the same page.
Yeah, you know about a bunch of atheists that you can look up on YouTube. So what? You take that as...
All right, here, I'll just let Jefferson take over because he has his hand up. Because he's just a week to find. That's probably.
I just wanted to know. So, is there some exhaustive list of things we're supposed to do and not to do? Like, I want to know all. Where's the list?
Do you want to take on Honey's argument here, or like, are you just trying to segue into something else now?
Not an argument. I was just wondering about the morality thing. Like, I mean, you use your opinion too. I use my opinion. I judge things and I make moral decisions accordingly. Do you have some list that tells you what to do, or you just make up your own mind?
So let's be clear here, right? If you have your own prescriptions based on your personal preferences, right? Your subjective morality, right? And all of that is valid. Every single bit of it is valid. Let's just grant that. Okay. So let's say Christianity is made the fuck up. It's been made up for 2,000 years. There is no magic sky daddy. It's all fake, right? Why is it less valid if I have my own subjective morality that says my feelings, my preferences, my opinions say I can go by this? What makes it less valid than yours?
We figured it out through conversation.
I mean,
you don't want to focus on the
Jefferson only. You got
I got cooked. We both have our opinion about these things. I'm agreeing with that. It's subjective. I'm making subjective decisions. So do you.
Okay, so it goes back to the question: why the fuck do you guys even care about fucking Christians?
You say stupid shit.
Same reason there's politicians. Why do you guys representatives? Like, what do you think this is? Are you like, what? Where do you live? Like in a hole? Like a little tiny hole? Like, what is this?
If it's all equally valid, if all of these opinions and subjective morality, feelings, and emotions and stuff is equally valid to yours, then why do you care if it's all equally valid? What?
Honey and you guys are like Christians.
Yeah, he's just unwilling.
He's saying it makes no sense at all. I think it makes no sense at all because I'm trying to ask a question so a lot of you wouldn't answer. Okay, subjective feelings about morality, okay, could be. It's not something that's valid or not valid. It's dependent on the human. Like, so if you talk about morality itself, but if you're talking about the belief in God, that's not the same thing as subjective morality.
Did you see that? Did you catch the trick here? Like, he opened up in his first sentence, right, and made a point about how, okay, wait a minute, then he tricked himself. He's like, oh, you know what, man, maybe I shouldn't go down that and start talking about something else. Let's just talk about subjective feelings and attitudes and mental states about the world. Let's start with that, dude.
Yeah, I think your subjective feelings are equal to mine.
Are my mental states equally
as valid?
Okay, thank you. Then why the fuck do you care about
Christianity? Because you guys say that you hear from invisible bosses that I don't think exist.
Why do you care about that if it's equally as valid?
Oh, because you guys affect policy and
No, we don't affect anything.
No, you don't.
Secular society.
No.
Separation of church. Separation of church.
Oh, really? So you guys don't have much power then?
No, not on a biblical basis.
Okay. So there's nothing going on with like I don't know, reproductive health or anything.
I don't know. Did we ban abortion in this country, or did we?
I don't know, dude. I mean, you guys are in a lot of countries. So I don't know.
How we have to have this conversation without unreasonably segueing it into a discussion about something?
Dude, I'm literally just following your stupid rap.
Are you saying that you believe in God because you feel God is true?
No, what I'm saying is that if you have an attitude or a mental state or some sort of like concept of subjective morality, and you base it on your emotions, feelings, opinions, and mental states, and you think that's valid, let's just grant on the opposite paradigm, all of it is fucking fake, right? Isn't it equally fucking valid to your subjective feelings, opinions, and emotions and mental states of the other person?
I'm not sure what you're adding the word valid there because if I have a feeling or I have a subjective morality, there's nothing valid about it. It's dependent on how I feel. exist?
Really? You don't think
That's not the same thing.
No,
That's not the same thing as subjective morality. I don't know what you're
Okay.
getting at.
Subjectively, right? Subjectively, I don't want you doing harm to me. We can all collectively come together subjectively based on our feelings. We don't like pain. We can collectively say, oh, I don't like the feeling and sensation of pain. We can all agree
make our morals and
so there is a fact of that, right? That's a good example, right? So now let's get back to the point, right? So let's get back to the point.
Are you saying that your feeling don't exist? So that's valid? Is that what you're saying? Did you just say?
What I'm saying is let's just grant that it's all fucking.
Why don't you just answer the specific question I'm asking?
Because it's not important. No, because you're trying to evade and dodge the
I'm
fucking.
not dodging it. I'm trying to